Here's a 9-mark question. Explain the reasons for the 1981 hunger strike. And I think the starting point for this question needs to be 1976. In 1976, the government announced an end of special category status for prisoners. Special category status allowed Republican prisoners who claimed that they were there in prison because of political crimes to be treated like prisoners of war, POWs. So they could wear their own clothes. They had the right to free association where they could move around their wing and meet with other prisoners. They were only locked in their cell at night. So for the rest of the day, they could walk around. And in 1976, the government said that this special category was now going to end, and that anybody convicted of a crime after 1976 would just be treated as a normal criminal. So this policy became known as criminalisation, and the Irish IRA prisoners in particular responded angrily to it because they believed that they weren't criminals. They believed that they were freedom fighters, soldiers. So the second thing then is prisoners object to having to wear prison uniforms, and they believe that their political prisoners should be treated as such. So what happens is that you have a blanket protest and a dirty protest which runs from 1976 to 1981, where the prisoners refuse to wear the prison uniform, and they refuse to slop out of their cells because they're locked in the cells for most of the time. A bowl is put in there like a potty for them to go to the toilet in, and then they have to empty this out in the morning, and the prisoners refuse. They spread their excrement on the walls, refusing just to toe the line with the prison regime, and they demand political status. Now that protest goes on for four almost 5 years and doesn't seem to get anywhere. The government refuses to give in, and a new prime minister comes along in 1979 called Margaret Thatcher, who is a very tough character, and she takes a very, very tough stance with the prisoners and says a crime is a crime is a crime. We are not giving in to this. So the prisoners decide to up the pressure, and in 1980 a hunger strike begins. The first hunger strike, 7 hunger strikers began a hunger strike for political status, and they call it off when they feel that when they believe that the government is going to give in to them, but it doesn't happen. Then in 1981, a second hunger strike begins with this guy, Bobby Sands, and he refuses food. But this time, the other hunger strikers will join him at intervals with the aim of putting increased pressure upon Margaret Thatcher to give in to their demand for political status. Okay, so that's how you answer a question like that. You go at it from 1976, and you just basically run through why it's important that you understand why the prisoners are doing this, what it is that they're trying to achieve.